Well, hello, my beautiful Cancerians. Welcome to my channel. This is Baba Jolie here with your career and money reading for the end of December 2024, right through the end of January 2025. I've already cleansed your space and have meditated on your cards. For those of you who are returning, welcome back to my channel. Thank you so much for all your wonderful likes, shares, and subscribes. I am truly grateful for all your beautiful energy. Just a little reminder though, this is a general reading, not a one-to-one reading, just so you're aware. Also, please be mindful, scammers are about, pretending to be me and lots of other tarot readers. I do not do personal readings, and I will never reach out to you personally to offer one. Also, I will never ask you for money, e-gifts, or donations. So if anyone masquerading as me asks for anything at all, please report them or ignore them. It is a scam, okay? Let's move straight on with your reading. I'm going to cleanse your space hourly, so please be mindful there's going to be 3 loud sounds. Let us begin. Okay, my beautiful Cancerians, this is your career and money reading. I'm going to get all of your cards first before I connect to an outcome. But before I start, I want you to be aware that there is one rogue card in this deck. It's not like all the other ones. It's meant to be there. It's a special card. Does not pop out for everybody, okay? But I just want you to be aware that it's there because you may be wondering why there is a very unusual card in this deck and may feel that perhaps it's not meant to be there, but it is meant to, okay? So let us begin. Thank you so much, Spirit Guides, Guardian Angels. Can you please guide my beautiful Cancerians? What do they need to know regarding their career and money situation? Can you please guide them for their highest good? What are they meant to see for the next 6 weeks? Can you please show them the way? What are they meant to be aware of, my beautiful Cancerians? Now, I'm actually seeing as well in the water, because I'm scrying at the same time as doing a reading, I'm seeing a key. Okay, now keys tend to represent destiny, but it could also indicate more responsibility in the working environment. Perhaps some of you may become like a third-party key holder. You may have to open and close your office, your business, your setup, perhaps. So please take it as it resonates. May not resonate with everyone. Key tends to represent your destiny as well, as I said there. So you're going to be focused on your sense of purpose, your life's mission, what you feel you add to your working environment. At the same time, you may be checking in with yourself to see if you're on course to where you want to end up as a destination. I mean, looking at the money card there, I do see that a lot of you are thinking about finances at this time, focusing on your wealth. And yeah, some of you may have just got a bonus, okay, and you may be putting that bonus to good use, taking down repayment plans, maybe saving a little bit for later to treat yourself. But ultimately, I feel this month, looking at your energy, I feel a lot of you are looking at the sort of state of money, how it comes in, and then it flows out on bills. And, you know, this period may be a period where you're gifting, so you may feel that perhaps there's not much of a potential to save as much as you usually would. But I do see that whatever you put out there, it flows back into you because I feel like you're in a state of flow. Now, some of you could be actually reinvesting that money in yourself, especially if you run your own business. It could be that you are taking a course of learning or, you know, getting new tools or electronic equipment to aid you in your business for 2025. You may be waiting for the sales. I see a lot of you waiting for good deals there with that energy because the pentacles are in the resistance position, which means you're really not, you know, overspending. It means that you're holding some back. And whenever I see that in a reading, it tends to mean that you're holding back for a large purchase. So it doesn't have to be that you're waiting for the sales. It could be that you're trying to move into real estate or purchase a home, for example, and you're just being extra savvy with your finances. Thank you so much, Spirit Guides, Guardian Angels. Can you please guide my beautiful Cancerians? What do they need to know regarding their career sector for the coming weeks and months? Okay. They want me to go one more, and by they, I mean my guides. Now, there is something to celebrate here. You may be getting some really good news, but I see a lot of you like, Yeah, there's a sun energy. I could feel this really positive warmth about you. But what I'm getting here is that there is something to celebrate. And if you haven't received a bonus yet, I definitely see that it's in the works for you. For some of you, it could be delayed. But I feel there's this like promise to yourself right now that you're going to follow your passions in 2025. I really get a sense here that a lot of you also are checking in with the financial exchange. Because when I touched this card, it came up briefly. And then it sort of went away. But every time I touch this card, I'll show you this card, I'm hearing ABBA's Money, Money, Money. Must be funny. Okay, so we've got this card. That song is going with that sort of card at this moment in time. So I definitely can hear that you will hear this song over the next coming weeks or months, and this indicates some sort of financial increase. Now, this could be because some of you are putting your resume out there, leaving a situation in order to get a new opportunity, fresh new start for the new year. But also, some of you may be thinking about launching your own business or having some sort of second stream of income there. I do see that the majority of you, if you work for a company, it could be that you are getting some sort of bonus. And for some of you, it may have been delayed. Okay, I mean, look, Ace of Pentacles, there is some sort of money coming your way. And some of you, I feel, it could be a gift bonus. This card tends to represent bonus, but also I feel for some of you, this is about fresh new start energy. If you're an entrepreneur, I see a lot of you thinking about branching out at this time and setting something up like a startup or maybe, an extension of whatever it is that you do already in order to double down on your dough. Okay, that's what I'm picking up on there. But let's get to your first card there. We have the Rose. Okay, now a lot of you, you're really just focusing on flourishing in your career, growth. You want to utilize your skill set. You want to build upon whatever it is that you know already in your industry. And I feel a lot of you, it's more about, do you love what you do? Okay. Now, if some of you have come to this reading and you've already lost your job or were made redundant or walked away from something that was really toxic and you're searching for a new role, I do see one coming in. Okay, it's more of a standalone position. And what I mean by that is some of you will govern a team. So it could be that your managerial role coming up or some sort of role with status. It's new money coming in towards you. And a lot of you, in the meantime, maybe thinking about starting up by yourself, because we do have that hermit energy, which is all about going solo. So if you are someone who is currently looking for work, I feel that there is one coming in. But again, I feel as we close out the year, there's this energy of feeling a little bit anxious. So I do see that this new role could come in for starting in the new year rather than in 2024. Okay, some of you, and not all of you, it may come through a third party because we've got that Three of Cups there. So this could be someone who shares some information about an opportunity going, but it could also represent an agency that finds you an opportunity and places you in a really great role. And of course, they take their commission, but I feel like you will staircase your finances. So it could be that if you want to work in an office, for example, or in catering or in any industry, it could be that a third party finds an opportunity for you to connect to. Even though you're searching for yourself, I feel that there is an opportunity available. And it is more money. Okay, that's what I'm definitely picking up there. Now, I'll disconnect with a lot of respect from that energy. For the majority of you, I feel this is, it's been a tough year. Roses, whilst there is reward there, there's a lot of thorns. So I feel like you've been through a lot. You've had a lot of pressure on your mind. I feel like you've been working super hard. And I feel as you start to close out the year, it is a little bit of a relief. Whenever you get so many coins, this would represent the 10 of Pentacles in the traditional tarot deck. This can indicate a lot of you are looking forward to spending time with your family or friends, and you're closing out the year feeling that, you did as much as you could for the year and the resources that you had, okay? Now, of course, it says financial relief, being content, loving care, supporting role or supportive role, job security, and growing. So you are, of course, just looking for job security, and we all know in the current economic climate that is very hard to achieve. However, I see that you are achieving it, okay? I definitely see here that there is a new financial opportunity coming in. So if you decide to stay where you're at right now, I can see an energy of some sort of promotion or raise. okay? I definitely see a raise, like an increase in your finances. So this could be in alignment with inflation, for example. But because the Ace of Pentacles is a gift card, it can indicate some of you are actually given a gift card, or you are given a financial incentive or bonus in some way. But I actually see more than that. I see, you know, some sort of like spotlight on you for recognition. It feels like you will figurehead like a new project, or you are inspiring people in order to sort of step up as well. So I feel promotion vibes coming from you. If you haven't even heard about it just yet, I feel it's something that you will hear in the new year, okay? But this card indicates that you're trying to make progress in your industry, and I feel that even though it's been chaotic, you've had a lot on your mind, you definitely have a lot on your to-do list here. I feel that, you know, you are making an impact in your industry. The spotlight tells me that you are someone that people like working with, that you are very gifted, very talented. You kind of outshine a lot of people in the role that you do. You don't like to do that. You're actually quite modest, but I feel this is a period where, you know, you should really peacock yourself and either network if you're in your own business, for example, or, you know, really kind of like advertise, promote your work, allow yourself to be seen. Some of you may be starting something new that's creative and you're not really sure how it's going to be received. But I actually see there that some of you may be a little bit anxious to reveal something you've been working on, but actually it's going to be received really well. Now, it may start off slow. I do feel this slow energy. You'll be waiting for results, but then it starts to really pick up. So I'm quite excited about your energy, especially for 2025 there. Now, Three of Cups is a card of celebration, something to be celebrating. A lot of you also, this can represent a feast energy, so it could be that you're really excited to close down the year. You're so over 2024 and you can't wait to move into 2025, but you need a rest first, because a lot of you with that Hermit energy, you need to withdraw, take a step back and replenish your energy, feel more inspired as you rejuvenate your body, mind, and soul. So I feel a lot of you, you know, this is a period where you just want to kick back and relax and have fun, okay? So there may be a lot of invitations during this time on a personal level. Could be, you know, going out for work drinks. There could even be a work event to celebrate the year that the company has had. And if you're an entrepreneur, it could be that you've organized this. Some of you may have just had this because it's in the protagonist energy. And the Nine of Wands, it's like, it's been hard. You should really be proud of yourself. Whatever industry you work in, Nine of Wands can indicate that you are literally running on empty, that you're exhausted, that you feel uncertain about the future, you know, of your industry. Perhaps you see some rules and regulations changing and you're wondering how it's going to affect you or your business. But I actually see that there's nothing to worry about here, because the Sun card indicates that you are someone who is going to thrive and survive under difficult circumstances. And I actually see that things will get a little bit easier. The Two of Wands is like, sometimes we go through a very chaotic time, because you have it with the Five of Swords there, and it can indicate that you're about to have a breakthrough. Keys, because a key came up earlier, also represent a breakthrough. So I feel like you will be celebrating something that was hard won, something that you worked, you know, extra to accomplish. You know, also the Nine of Wands can be a card of evaluating your circumstances and seeing what worked in 2024, what didn't, and, you know, you're going to take what works with you into the year ahead. Now, of course, the Nine of Wands there, for some of you, and don't shoot the messenger when I say this, I hate giving this message, some of you may have been taken unawares by an unexpected bill, but I feel like you have got this covered and you will replenish your finances. And, you know, if you haven't had that unexpected bill, I feel there is, you know, an energy here where you'll receive one. Okay, I hate giving that message. Now, this could be something small. It doesn't have to be like a large thing, but it could be that, for example, if you're someone who runs your own business and you have like trialed a subscription, for example, and it's a free trial for 14 days, you've been so busy that you may have forgotten to cancel that free subscription because you don't want to use it, or you've utilized it and you don't need it anymore, and it may tick over and charge you. For some of you, the Hermit energy, what am I getting here? It just feels like it's an error, okay? So it could be that there is something that you basically have as a service, you know, and they may take money out early. it's not an error, but it feels like an error from you. So you may be able to contest it. Okay. I feel that financial establishments or companies around this time, whether it's service providers for, electricity, water, they may actually take their bills out earlier than your usual direct debit, which may put you in deficit if you're not expecting it. So I would just keep an eye on that. It's frustrating, is what I see there. But with that Nine of Wands, that is to guard against this happening. So I feel some of you could be compensated, or you could actually get it corrected. I feel like you will have to contest it first, though. Okay. Now, there is an energy here of like winding down, because the Three of Cups is really to kind of celebrate the moment. It's about sharing, coming together. And, whenever you get this, it can be good luck. Okay. A pool of money for some of you. If you're in some sort of syndicate in your working environment, there may be a small win in that as well. Or even on a personal level, if you have like lottery tickets with family members or something like that, that you've got like a lottery pool, it could be that you have a small win in the month of, well, I see it ticking over from December into January. So on the cusp period, it may be something that you actually enter for the new year as well. So, I feel it's small. So that's what's coming through there as well. But the Nine of Wands, it can indicate that it's been a lot, okay? And you are battling away. You're still working. I feel like you're still doing your to-do list, winding up projects, and trying to balance, enjoying the perhaps festive period and, the sparkly time, as it were, but at the same time, you still got to work. Okay. So that Nine of Wands tells me that, you're busy, you have things that you need to accomplish, you're very productive, and it can indicate for some of you that, you've like extended a lot of energy to make this year work. And I feel a lot of you're not giving up on a project. I feel like you take a project with you into 2025, and some of you may feel a little bit disappointed that you didn't complete this project, whatever it is. It may be a personal project, doesn't have to be to do with your career, and I feel it's meant to come with you for a reason. So give the time that is necessary. Don't feel bad that you didn't complete it. I feel it was always meant to be that. So that's coming out there as well. Now, the Nine, if I can pick up this card, the hardest card to pick up is the coins. Isn't that true to life in general? But this card, it is in your resistance position. So some of you may be reevaluating how much money you get in the role that you are in right now, because the Nine of Wands can indicate that you're running at capacity, that you're close to burnout, that you feel exhausted. I feel a lot of you are vigilant, as in you are basically closing out the year and feeling a little bit uncertain about 2025. I got to be honest with you, Nine of Wands is a bit of a cautious card, but I feel you actually have lots to celebrate. And I feel there's part of you that allows yourself to celebrate, but not too much, because you're always like in the back of your mind, a little bit hesitant about what could go wrong or be negative in some way. But actually, I see a lot of good things here for you. I would say if you're attending a works drinks event type thing, because you have the Devil card there and the Three of Cups with the Nine of Wands, I would say be a little bit cautious of the office lech, for example, because I feel this energy of someone like overstepping a mark or being unprofessional. This can also apply to a networking event. If you're going to one of those for your industry, there may be someone who basically tries to abuse their power in a situation. So just watch out for that there as well. And I feel there could be a little bit of gossip if you work in a certain industry and there is some sort of works event. With the Devil card and the Two of Wands, it can be that someone either, went a little bit too far under the influence of alcohol or something like that. So I feel some of you will be kind of like watching this person like stewing, shall we say. And if they really went too far, there could be an HR kind of like reprimand about it as well. And this may actually affect how next year's event goes or further events in the future. So it could be that less money is available for the budget for, some sort of staff party. It could be that there is some sort of like rule or regulation that gets changed because of it. Okay, now that's really random, but that's coming through, so I have to mention it there. Ultimately, this card, it can indicate that, you know, you're focused on your finances. There is money coming in, but if you're a freelancer, this may be delayed and you may have to wait a little bit for it. I hate to give that message, but I feel a lot of you may actually, you know, send a very poignant email that highlights that they have a certain amount of days to pay up. And I feel even after receiving the email, there'll still be a little bit of a wait, but you will get that money. Okay, so I want you to be aware of that. Now it says money coming in, wealth, good investment, sales and finance, getting a raise, and lucky. Okay, anything that's in the resistance position, it will go into the upright. So I definitely see that there is some lucky opportunity for you. And it's the Ace of Pentacles there. So a lot of you will be getting bonuses if you haven't already. Some of you have already got that bonus and it's allowed you to save a little bit, but also, you know, spend a little bit, treat yourself there. But the Ace of Pentacles is a startup as well. So if you're an entrepreneur, it could be that you're starting a new business, or it could be that you're diversifying in some way. And some of you may be actually thinking about going solo with all the knowledge that you have right now. Especially with the Hermit there, it tells me that you're very wise, you're very established in your industry. You're the sort of person who could utilize your skill set by setting up a course online, for example, or writing a book or some sort of document that helps people do what you do. And you could put it out there for people to download, but also charge people for it. So it could be an extension of what you do already. Some of you may even be thinking about setting up like a YouTube channel, for example, to get your message out there. And some of you may actually try to monetize that or something like that. Not all of you will want to do that, but please apply it to your situation. The Hermit energy indicates a solo kind of project. So I feel a lot of you may be offered a really lucrative deal, or you know, some kind of opportunity that is fresh and new. It's the start of more fortune. For some of you, this could also be applied to, you know, if you work in a company, they could come towards you, your boss or people who are in a hierarchical position could come to you and say, hey, would you like to be a first aider or a fire warden? And there's a financial incentive there. So it could be that there's an addition to whatever it is that you do. For some of you, this could also be like a financial incentive, like you win like staff member of the month or of the year, or win some sort of award regarding your industry. And I feel this could open up your pay packet there too. But a lot of you, because the Hermit can also be like new knowledge, I feel some of you may be trying to reinvest in yourself or upskill in some way in 2025. And you may actually pay out some money there in order to upskill so that you can reach a different pay grade in 2025. And with the Hermit energy, this can also indicate a lot of you still have projects that you need to work on, and you want to remove yourself in order not to have any distractions in the month of December. Because I feel like you've got a lot on your to-do list, but also I feel like you want to balance it out with having fun, going and seeing friends, because the Three of Cups is really like get out there, let your hair down. It's the end of the year, and I feel with the Hermit energy, there's a healthy balance with focusing on projects for the new year, or really, you know, deeply thinking in a philosophical way how to either earn more money or feel more secure in your industry, or make sure that your skill set is fully utilized. But I definitely see some sort of like, you know, long-term project that you figurehead coming in for you. So either if you work for a company, your boss kind of comes towards you and asks you to do this, you know, I mean, I'm getting this energy of like it's lonely at the top. So it could be that you're singled out for something which is wonderful for you and your financial situation, but at the same time it sets you apart somehow from your, you know, peers in your working environment. And suddenly the separation is apparent. So if, for example, you work in a team right now, it could be that you're offered like a managerial role. Suddenly people are going to approach you differently. And that can feel a little bit isolating or discombobulating at first, but I feel things will settle, okay? Things will just get back to normal. But people kind of like shift in their like approach. So I feel it may feel just a little bit eggy at first. Now, if you're an entrepreneur, it could be that some of you are looking at where you can tighten the reins on the finances of the company and your budgets. Not because you are like losing money. I see that actually you'll be gaining money, but I feel you're just making financial savvy decisions in order to, reinvest in your company or diversify that money so that it can increase there and, build your fortune is what I see. With the Hermit energy, a lot of you, if you're entrepreneurs and you work by yourself, it can again be a little bit lonely or isolating. So some of you may contemplate sharing your time between like a shared working environment where you meet like-minded individuals. Maybe you work in a shared space for like 2 days of the week and contemplate working from home for the rest of the time, or somewhere else that is a little bit quieter, that has no distractions. So I feel like you're trying to find more balance in 2025. Now we do have the moon. Okay, and this is the outcome energy. It says fleeting funds there. So I feel this could be the month where you spend a little bit more than you would usually if you're someone who gifts, or you're spending time going out and, drinking, partying, going for dinners, catching up with people that you haven't seen for a while. It can indicate that it puts a little bit of a strain on your bank balance. However, I see it being replenished. I feel it's just you like treating yourself and enjoying yourself as you wind down the year. But it says unknown source, being guided, moonlighting, odd jobs, night shift, part-time. So I feel some of you, maybe seasonal work, but perhaps some of you are setting up second streams of income. And that's why it feels very much you're doing something that you've established yourself at so far, but you may feel like you've hit a plateau and you may be interested in other things or going solo, using your knowledge in order to build your own company. But at the same time, some of you may be even thinking about like an apprenticeship where you learn as you earn, or you may be setting up like a side hustle. Maybe even like looking at stuff you have in the home place as you start to declutter as you approach 2025. You may be like putting pre-loved goods out there online for you to sell and get money from. It's kind of a fair exchange because you don't really want them clogging up the energy in your house. So therefore you are kind of like sending them on their way to be loved somewhere else. But at the same time, there's a financial recompense there. Now, the Five of Swords can indicate that, you're doing a bit of brainstorming over the next coming weeks regarding your career path. I feel like lots of new ideas coming towards you. Five of Swords can also indicate that some of you, if you've been promised like a promotion or more money, you may have felt that you got the brush off a little bit from this person. For some of you, if you're an entrepreneur and there's a client or a potential client that really wants to utilize your skills or your company, your business, goods, services, whatever it is that you do, they may have been talking to you, say, yeah, it'd be really great, we should partner up, or there's a brand deal here or something, and it hasn't really amounted to anything. Some of you may be like, oh, this person's all talk, it's not going to happen. But I do see that it will happen, but perhaps not on the time frame that you're hoping for. I feel it will be a little bit later, but it is something that is going to happen for you. And it's almost like this person, they need logistics in order to like set things up before they can actually really connect to you in a contract. So that's coming through there as well. And if you work for a company that has promised you like a promotion or a new role, some of you may even be getting like new offices, or there's like a refurb going on. So I feel there's a bit of a restructure going on in your industry or in your actual location over the next coming weeks. If you've been promised something, I feel it's been delayed because there's like red tape, and it is something that's going to happen. But again, I feel it won't be until you move into like 2025 before that starts happening there for you. Now, the Five of Swords, and the Nine of Wands, a lot of you are trying to quieten the inner critic, because I feel like you leave 2024 thinking of all the things that didn't go the way you'd hoped for, or, didn't go as well as you'd hoped. There may be even this like little criticism going on within yourself where you feel you could have done better. But we always feel like that as humans as we close out the year. We think about all the things that perhaps we could have done but didn't. But remember, you're exactly where you're meant to be. And I see so many wonderful opportunities coming towards you in 2025. It's almost like 2024 for you was like, the planning stages of the good stuff that is to come in 2025. So I feel like you're right where you need to be, okay? Now, I also see that someone, because we have the Hermit energy here in the resistance position, there's someone here who may single you out. okay? Either for criticism, I hate giving this message, but it could be like a really grouchy client, or perhaps it's someone who, you know, you go to a coffee house for coffee and they're just like a really moody server. I'm not sure, but I'm just getting this energy. I feel it's more like someone who's been established in your industry for quite some time. So if you work for a company, it could be like one of the older bosses, someone who's like extra mature. They got to a point in their life and their working career. I feel like they're about to exit. That's what I'm being given here. So it's almost like they don't care. So they could be like extra grouchy or snappy. And don't take it personally. Of course, if they do something out of line, call them up on it, bring it to HR, totally deal with that. But I really get this energy of someone saying like a flippant comment that I want you to be aware this person is projecting. Okay, it's something they're not happy within themselves, and it feels very much like they not accuse you of doing it, but they snap at you, almost like. But this person will eat humble pie, and by the end of the 6-week period that I'm picking up on, this person will actually offer an apology, and they will try and, you know, excuse themselves. And it feels like they try to give an excuse, but then they actually turn around and say, actually, no excuses. You know what? I was out of line. So I feel there is someone who eats humble pie, okay, here. And yeah, it's someone who basically people normally avoid is what I'm being given. So I'm going to leave it like that. It could be a difficult client that you have, and you're like, every time they approach you, you're like, oh no. It could be that they ask for a meeting or something, or a conversation, a video call or something, and they're just like in a bad mood that day. So yeah, just potential conflict in and around that, but I feel like the way you deal with it is really professional, and it really highlights, you know, this person for everything that they are. Now, a lot of you with that Five of Swords and the Devil card, you could be looking at toxicity in the working environment where you feel like you need a healthier cutoff point, or where you need to articulate your needs in a healthier way. The Devil card can indicate that some of you have been feeling a little bit stuck, okay? Now, this could be that you're stuck in a position, you feel it's time to move, or it's time to look at other opportunities. Some of you, out of fear, you may feel that you want to stay where you're at right now because there's no alternative opportunities. But if you are putting your resume out there, I see you going for an interview, and I see this very lucrative role coming up for you. Again, as I said, it feels like a stand-alone position or some sort of managerial position that you're going to be very excited about. But ultimately, the Devil card, you know, this can represent an energy of leading with your passions for 2025, okay? It can indicate that, you know, you are wanting to do more things that you love doing. It's almost like you get inspired and obsessed about the next steps on your path. So these two cards are like brainstorming, leading with passion, and I'm going to pull a card on it because I feel a lot of you, this downtime period, because I feel, you know, you're going to have a little bit of a pause with that Hermit, a temporary withdrawal in order to take a rest and recharge your batteries. But that Two of Wands, it can indicate that you're in the planning stages of doing something that you're excited about. And it means that you're mapping your progress over these next 6 weeks. And there is a potential to be a little bit critical with yourself. Please have compassion and celebrate yourself, because I feel like you did an awesome job with the resources that you had this year. And I feel, you know, there's some really great things coming your way in 2025 as well there, okay? Now, the Two of Wands, it's like waiting for results. So some of you, you may have taken a test or felt really tested. I feel there's an energy here of you passing something that you will celebrate. And when you get this card as well, it usually means it's time to wait for something better, okay? So I feel a lot of you are at a crossroads period. You may be determined to move forward on a project. You may have been looking at obstacles, delays, or you may be looking at how much effort you put into your industry and how there is an unfair exchange. So you may be looking for other opportunities elsewhere in order to increase your finances. And I see a lot of you getting a role that's kind of on the same level as where you're at right now, but it's more money. So there may even be better benefits with it too. So let me just pull a card. Now, if you're an entrepreneur, this could also be that you are a little bit nervous or anxious about the state of the industry that you're in. You may see like businesses closing or, you know, downsizing, things like that. And you may be just like watching and waiting for the world to kind of present the sort of path it's going to be on, because of course events in the world always affect us economically. So it could be that you are keeping an eye, being really vigilant. But I actually feel, you know, you're covered by the sun there, which means there's good times ahead for your industry. It will pick up again. I feel there is a lot of positivity there, but of course it's not going to stop you from feeling a bit anxious or nervous. I feel there is a return to better times here for you when it comes to your industry. So if you are a little bit worried or nervous, I want you to be aware that things will pick up pace and business will be better and booming is what I see. Okay, there's a recovery. So looking at this energy, I'm pulling cards to clarify the Five of Swords, the Devil card, and of course the Two of Wands. And you know, we've got the Seven of Cups there to clarify it. Now, this can indicate that you have a lot on your plate right now. You have a lot of things to focus on. You're compartmentalizing and prioritizing what's important. And, you know, what you focus on, this is something that's going to grow and be very rewarding. But also this can indicate that you have so much on your plate right now. You can feel a little bit scattered at times, and it's really about focusing on where you feel fulfilled, because each cup, it offers something different here. You know, you've got the snake there for transformation. What do you take with you into 2025? What do you leave behind? The snake can also represent people that you mistrust in your industry, you know, paying close attention to your hunches. You know, we've got the victory wreath there. We've got riches. We've got a tower. The tower can be to build your empire. It can be to isolate yourself in order to not have any distractions as well, but it also can represent like a major radical restructure of the way that you work. So even if you're thinking about staying where you're at, I feel your approach is going to be different in 2025, and I feel there's a lot of opportunity available to you. You just have to focus now on what it is that you want to accomplish. Now we do have the Moon card there, so a lot of you, this is a card of duality, so it can indicate that you're under a lot of pressure, especially when it's partnered with the Devil card and the Five of Swords with the Two of Wands. It can be that you're under pressure because you're doing two major things. You know, the dog and the wolf represents a stable environment. The dog is like companionship, loyalty to a certain stable role, and the wolf is something a little bit more independent. So it could be that you're spending your time between the two, but also it could be that you are currently contemplating whether you should be more freelance or change your hours. I actually see someone setting an old-fashioned like alarm clock, you know, the one with the bells on the side. You know, I love those clocks, but they're so loud. They just literally like, it's like my soul leaves as I wake up because it's so loud. So, but I'm just seeing someone purchasing one of those clocks, or have one of those alarm clocks. It's like setting an alarm. Maybe you've got like an important meeting or a desire to impress by being early with something, or perhaps you're getting up earlier in order to do something. And I feel the path is being made clear for you. The Moon card can indicate sometimes we have to look at the negative side of things in order to protect ourselves, or, you know, discover the positive. It always is dark before it gets light. So I feel this card represents like a hidden opportunity that you're not even aware of. Could be a surprise. Ace of Pentacles often represents a surprise from the universe, and it's financial in nature. So I feel there is some really great opportunities coming your way. One in particular that you're going to really celebrate there. And I mean, the Moon card can indicate the unseen, okay? It's like you may be trying to map your progress right now, but you can't really tell. You know, you are just going based on a feeling of how well you did. And I feel, you know, sometimes you have to give yourself a little bit more credit where credit's due, because you tend to be a little bit more critical on yourself, especially during this time. So just watch out for that. But the star energy indicates recognition for success, a wish being delivered in your career. The star energy indicates victory. It indicates healing, especially if you've been in a very toxic working environment. This pause will give you an opportunity to heal, but also to reassess and get clarity as to whether you want to stay where you're at, or with that Two of Wands, whether you want to look for alternative opportunities at this time. Either way, you're going to be met with the light. The star and the sun, you know, this is about shining your light. It's about being more positive, inspired, having more energy, which I definitely see you having in 2025. And I feel this is you being in the spotlight for success, okay? I feel the path ahead is actually really positive, and I feel, you know, there is more prosperity headed in your direction, especially when you are following your passions, okay? I feel like you are transforming your working environment. So some of you, if you're an entrepreneur, it could be that you are changing location, or you are, upskilling as well as diversifying, maybe even purchasing new equipment or tools that help you keep things interesting for you, but also for your client base. Some of you, if you are like a creative, it could be that you're changing your style or dabbling. I get an energy of exploration for you all right now to see what works, what doesn't work. And if you work like in a day-to-day setting, it could be that, it's business as usual, but in order for you to step up, I feel you are trying something new in order to impress or go above and beyond. And I would say definitely copyright your work or patent your work as well, just in case, because the Devil card and the Five of Swords can also indicate someone keeping an eye on what you're doing, micromanaging you, maybe trying to take the credit for your work, or it could be someone who watches your work if it's something that's in the public arena. And it could be that they try to copy your style, or they try and do what you do, but no one can do what you do because you are unique. Now, if you are someone who is a performer, or you're in the arts, or you're a writer, the star energy can indicate that your work is seen. So some of you may have like fame or notoriety about whatever it is that you do. Could be a lot of people are drawn to your work, which helps you elevate. Some of you could be asked by a gallery to exhibit your work, for example, or a publisher could ask you to partner up when it comes to a publishing deal and your writing. If you're a musician, it could be that you get a really great gig with a person who is really well known, and as an extension, you become really well known as well because you're very talented and gifted. If you are in any industry, the star and the sun partnered indicates that your reputation goes from strength to strength, and you become well known for what you do because you're very gifted at it. So have confidence in yourself. Take that confidence into 2025, because I see a lot of great things coming your way. Now, finally, your cards, we have going in style. So some of you may be dressing the part for an interview, or maybe some of you are going into fashion, for example. It says little luxuries help you build up to greater things later. Treat yourself. I think I mentioned that, treating yourself this month. This could be, as I said, reinvesting in yourself or in your business. I mean, the carriage tends to connect to the Chariot card, which means that you are dedicated to progress. You're making a commitment to your financial future. You've got a lot of energy as you move into 2025, because a lot of you are exhausted. So I feel like you recharge your batteries, and you are disciplined and focused, and that is going to bring you to the top for success. And finally, we have free yourself. Okay, really interesting, because I wrote it down, but it didn't come up in the water. Okay, just before I started your reading, I did like a little meditation. I always do like a little 10-minute visual focus to see what I see for you. And unless it comes up again in the reading, I really won't mention it, because I don't want to influence the reading. But I'm going to show you what I wrote here for your reading. I saw a little bird, and it was leaving the city. Okay, and I got this sense of like relief and release. Okay, I hope you can read that. I wrote it in pencil this time. Normally I do pen, but I couldn't find one. So I wrote down bird leaving the city, taking a break, freedom, release and relief. So perhaps that's something that you're going to be feeling in the month of December as you move into January. But we've got a little bird in a cage here, and it says free yourself. So maybe the two are connected. Some of you, if you work in the city, it could be that you're like going out of town in order to see family and friends. Or some of you may be thinking about doing something that's out of the city, or you just need a break from like the humdrum of the everyday. But it says work to pay off your debt and unlock earning potential, open to prosperity. And I definitely see that you are open to prosperity, and there is more coming your way. In terms of your finances, I feel this is about you noticing that easy come, easy go. As soon as you get paid, it goes on your bills and, on your saving plans. Some of you may even be thinking about pension at this time and trying to, raise that and think about when you want to retire, but whenever that conversation comes up in your mind, you may feel a little bit overwhelmed by it, like a little bit nervous. But I feel like you don't have anything to be nervous about. I feel like you're making savvy decisions, and when the time is right, you will embrace that next stage of your life. Okay, and yeah, I think basically there is better to come in 2025 as well for you all, and I feel like you're on a trajectory that's really positive. Even though it may feel a little bit challenging right now, I feel things are about to change and shift in a more positive direction. And remember, there is something here that you will celebrate, something that you accomplished that was really hard, but you did it. So feel really proud of yourself. So I'll leave it there. I hope something resonates, my beautiful Cancerians. I'm just going to go and get a trinket or a button before we close. Okay, we've only got a button for you. Now we got the mushroom, which represents growth, of course, and this can indicate that, it has been a bit of a challenging time because remember, mushrooms tend to grow in the dark, but also, the mushrooms can represent toxicity. So for example, if some of you are working in a toxic environment, this could be that you are needing a break from this and maybe reassessing whether you want to connect to this way of working long term. So you may be making some major decisions over the next coming weeks or months. Some of you may actually have just left a toxic environment and you're healing from that with that star energy. But also, if you're an entrepreneur, it could be that you're obsessed about your business. It's always on your mind because of course you want to make it work because you are the person that it affects. So, sometimes people say, be your own boss instead of working 9 to 5, and actually then you end up working 24/7. So it can be a lot, and you need to find a healthy cutoff point so that you do not run yourself into the ground and burn yourself out. So I feel a lot of you, it's very important to focus on that as well at this time. So I will leave it there, my beautiful Cancerians. Thank you so much, and love and light.